Welcome back to another Minetest mod review. Today we are looking at the Omnidriver, and now this adds, a screwdriver, but not any ordinary old screwdriver. It's a pretty powerful screwdriver with a lot of neat features. So for starters, let's look at the craft recipe. It's going to be a stick, a diamond, and a steel ingot, being very similar to a normal screwdriver, other than obviously requires the addition of a diamond. The can also be made with a screwdriver and a diamond, or in either direction there. So nothing too special or surprising about any of that. Now let me actually just chuck this piece of cobblestone and this, because I don't need those anymore, and they're only going to serve to get in the way. So this screwdriver has 4 different modes of operation, and you can toggle between them by holding down the sneak key and punching. And let me just try to find something with a dark background so this text will be visible. This is probably going to do. So we have our first and kind of the common one. Oh, already went away. Well, that was single rotation. Okay, you know what? This is going to be a little more complicated to explain that way. Let's just use it and see how she works, right? So here we are in the what we would consider the basic rotation here. This is going to work, I believe, most likely the same way as the normal screwdriver does. So you see here, I am currently left clicking, and I'm just rotating it round about the top down axis, I suppose, and then left click this as a form spec. So we just hold down the shift key, and then we are rotating it in the opposite axis. So we can get into, oops, now we got it messed up. We can get into all kinds of crazy rotations here. There we go, and get it right. Now say, for example, this is a very bad example, but say we were trying to rotate this so it's this direction, right? But we accidentally clicked one time too many. Oh no, what do we do? Do we really want to waste all of the extra clicks? You know, that's going to be 3 extra clicks. It's a lot of extra clicking. You might wear your mouse out. That would be a shame. However, you don't have to worry about destroying your mouse. Instead, you have to put some wear and tear on your keyboard. If you hold down the auxiliary key, default's E, you can actually rotate in reverse. Again, this is a very poor example because there's only 4 steps of rotation to it. However, here's where things get a little more interesting. So I have this plant here that uses the degrotate parameter. So it can rotate in, is it 64 steps? No, it's how high does it go? It's 200 something, because you have 256 bits. We are up to 231, and then if you hold on the sneak key, wait, nope, that's not it. How do we do the, oh, we right click, right. Okay, let me put this back to what we want. So then if we right click, again, I'm gonna have to shift right click because this one also has a right click popped up in the node. 239 steps. So say we wanted this to be quite precise, we can either do in a step of 10, and say 40 or 74 is a little too high. We actually want to be at 70. We can hold down the auxiliary key and the sneak key and then rotate. In this case, I'm holding down the sneak key because, again, this one has a pop-up where you can enter your own value in it. As a test node that I have from another mod, which I'm using here, you would generally not have that, not need to hold down the sneak key. Moving right along. Oh, actually, if we try this, we'll see that this plant can only rotate in this direction. I can't flip it sideways, can't do upside down. Degrotate nodes do not support that. They only support rotation around that would be the y-axis. It also works for the color forwarder and color degrotate, which would be nodes that can use a palette to display different degrees of color, and you can use it with those. I do not have any of those lying about, so I can't really demo that, but it does work on them. Here we have, again, a very similar node to the concrete mixer here. So we have our normal, we have our right clicking, we have our left clicking. You can get all crazy here, right? Say this is, I don't know why, but say this is the rotation that I want, right? And I have 2 more of them. Well, it's going to take me a long time to figure out how I clicked to get to this rotation, right? So here's where we can make things a little easier on ourselves. We'll just hold down the sneak key and we will punch, and we will change till we get the text down here to say mode change to paste copy. Then, let me see if I can remember this. We right click. No, let me check. Yes, so we right click to copy the rotation. So this is the rotation we want. So we're going to right click on this dragon here, and then we will left click to paste that rotation, and you'll see we can actually paste it onto any node that is using the same param2 type. Now, if I try to paste that onto this, we'll get a little demo saying cannot paste your rotation onto a degrotate node. But we can paste it on this because they're both using the same param type, 2draw type. And if I come over here to this tree trunk, I can rotate that as well. The dirt cannot be rotated. It only can display in one direction. These plants can't rotate them. They can only display in that one singular direction. Alright, so that's a couple of the different modes. Let's look at the others. We have the push edge and rotate pointed. And you might be thinking, what is that? Well, that is very similar to the rotator or screwdriver 2 if you're familiar with them at all. It basically allows you to, depending on where you're pointing at the node, rotate it in different ways. So this dragon, if I want it upright, if I point to the bottom edge here and punch, it pushes it down. Say I want this one rotated so that the bottom side of it here is facing towards this dragon. If I click on the side here, it'll rotate that way. I want this one the opposite direction so they're both, bottom towards each other. Do that. Now say I want to rotate it so it's standing upright. I can come over here and do this, or I can right click here and that'll actually, yes, that will rotate it so it's correct on the ground. It's not the same way as this. I'm getting it all messed up here because of not pointing accurately. Let's try that again. There we go. So now they're, both facing the sides of the walkway. Let's see. If we come over here, again, it does the same thing. If we come up to this, we can make it rotate this way. We can rotate it the other way. Again, we can use the E key to go in the opposite direction, I believe. I don't really know why you would want to do this, but so the normal would push its head away, but if I hold down the E key, it pulls its head towards me. Now, of course, you could just also move your mouse back and forth. I guess it has its benefits. It saves you the moving of your mouse with the added wear and tear of the E key on your keyboard. So I guess check your user's manuals to find out how many clicks your mouse is rated for and how many key presses your keyboard's rated for, and use that information to determine which you should be using, because obviously you don't want to wear your mouse out prematurely. You also don't want to wear your keyboard out prematurely, so you should, do a lot of math to make sure that you're not going to break anything. Also, I guess if you did break your auxiliary key, you could always reassign that in Minetest to use a key that's not broken. So maybe that's all quite pointless. Anyway, there you have it. By default, it doesn't take any damage. Even though I am in creative, let me, am I in creative? Yeah, I gotta be in creative because let's turn creative off. I believe it said there was a setting, so you could change that. So if we go to the settings tab here, I'm using a dev build, so this is gonna look maybe a little different than what you would see. It also depends on what default to 0 is infinite uses, so I could set this to 16. This should just reset to default, yeah. Why would we want this set to 16? Because we really hate people that are using this, right? So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I actually got 17 uses out of there how I counted, but I guess our first use probably starts at 0, but maybe not because it's Lua, and Lua it starts at 1. I don't know, but there you have it. If you want to make it wear out, it's an easy setting you can just set in the menu, or you could set it manually in the settings file as well, I believe. But there you have it, the Omnidriver mod. If you're interested in downloading this mod, just visit my website linked in the video description down below, and you will find all of the pertinent links there. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.